Hello everyone. In today's video, I will discuss about mass culture or culture industry in the thought of Frankfurt thinkers. And this particular idea, this particular concept or theory is very relevant in the contemporary society. And basically, the Frankfurt school of thought developed over the criticism of orthodox Marxism and understanding the society, social structure, social systems, institutions, social conditions, practices over the period of time in the philosophical way. So Frankfurt thinkers basically took the philosophical ideas, philosophical development of the German idealism, the Kantian philosophy, the phenomenological, the school of thought, and many more philosophical the thoughts, philosophical developments they adopted and formulated a different kind of thought, and that over the period of time recognized as critical theory or Frankfurt School of Thought. Very prominent names that I already discussed in the previous videos are Adorno, Max Horkheimer, Marcuse, the Habermas, and others. So in today's video, I will focus on how the Adorno and Max Horkheimer tried to understand the mass culture or culture industry in the advanced industrial society or in the advanced modern society. In the book Dialectic of Enlightenment, Adorno and Max Horkheimer discussed extensively about the mass culture and criticized the capitalized or capitalistic version of the mass culture that is widespread in the modern society or in the advanced industrial society. So in the beginning of the discussion, I will describe what mass culture or culture industry is all about, and then I will also talk about how this mass culture idea or culture industry idea of the Adorno and Horkheimer is relevant in the today's time. Mass culture here does not means the culture of the masses. By the term, it implies that it is a culture that is practices or that is produces by the masses. No. That is why Adorno and Horkheimer used the term culture industry. Culture industry here implies a culture that is produced, that is produced by the capitalist, that is produced in the advanced industrial society, that is produced for the purpose of business, that is produced for the purpose of doing commerce or for the commercialization of the elements, cultural elements. So this culture is called as or regarded as the mass culture. So mass culture and culture industry are same thing. The terminological, the variations. The mass culture is the culture industry. The culture industry is the mass culture. So Max Horkheimer and Adorno believes that this mass culture is the product of the advanced industrial society, and how this mass culture developed. This mass culture developed over the period of time due to the technological development. At times, the mass culture was only limited within a particular locality, within a particular space, within a particular the context. But due to the development, due to the advancement of technology, this mass culture has become very wide, very global, and that is being rationalized, that is being regarded as a symbol of modernity, symbol of advancement. Now, what are the forms of mass culture or culture industry? This I shall clear. According to Adorno or Horkheimer, here mass culture includes the art. Art may be of different forms, maybe painting, maybe the films, the songs, dance, and different forms of arts. Then he also mentioned that he also included, that is, they included, Adorno and Horkheimer also included the radio and entertainment. So there may be different moods of entertainment, different ways or forms of entertainment. Radio, arts again includes the film, songs, dances, many things. So these are the various forms of the mass culture or culture industry. At times, these forms these forms of the mass culture were limited within a space, within a particular context, within a particular situation, within a particular society. But with the development of technology, this mass culture has become now widespread, has become now the part of, or the element or inevitable element of the global advanced industrial society. Without these elements, the advanced industrial society cannot survive, because this mass culture or culture industry is now industry in itself. It is it is producing, consistently producing various forms, various elements, various products, items. So it can be considered as commodity. That is, different forms of the mass culture, different forms of the culture industry is coming up as commodity. And once these products are coming up, automatically it is also attracting the masses as consumers. So masses are becoming the consumer of this mass culture or culture industry. So that consumerism part I will discuss later. So Max Horkheimer and Adorno believes that art, that film or the mass culture is not an art now. There is nothing called art. Everything has become business. The art with the film, songs, dances, and any other kinds, which are now turned into the business. That is, the capitalist world, for the purpose of maximizing profit, for the purpose of creating more benefits, for the purpose of dominating the masses, producing more and more items, more commodities, more products, and it's creating the mass consumers. So here technological development, I have mentioned that because of the technological development, this evolution of mass culture happened. That is, the culture industry developed because of the technological development. This is Adorno and Horkheimer called as technical rationality. That is, this technological development has eventually rationalized the domination of the culture industry over the masses. This capitalist world or advanced industrial society uses this technical rationality to dominate over the masses, dominate the consciousness of the peoples. People's consciousness are being motivated, people's consciousness are being controlled or dominated, repressed, suppressed by this technical rationality. People's beliefs that the adaptation and the consumption of these technological tools or technological forms and technological types are the sign, symbol, implication of their presence in the modernity, of their presence, of their existence in the modern industrial world. They have to live with the trend of the world. If they don't adapt, they can't survive, they can't exist. So for their existence, for their well-being, they needs to adapt, and it has become inevitable. There is technological adaptation is inevitable now in the contemporary society, and that even predicted, or that was not exactly the prediction, that was observed at the time of the Frankfurt thinker. At that time, technology was not that developed as it is today, because internet was not that developed as it is today. Mobile phone and many other communicative mediums were not that developed during that time in the Germany, France, and other Western world. So at that time, the Adorno and Horkheimer observed that this technological rationality started dominating the masses, the consciousness of the masses. And how it started developing? It started developing through conquering the private or free time of the people or masses. That is, when do people enjoy or consume such cultural products or such products or items of the culture industry in the free time? So this concept of free time was changed because of the technological rationality. This free time was conceptualized as time to enjoy with the music, with the film, with different arts, then other material aestheticism in different places, maybe in the party, in the shows, and different other, the rock shows and some other things. So this is how the free time was taken over by the capitalist. This free time of the consumers were now being occupied, being now involved in the process of further production of the culture industry or mass culture. So this technical rationality, according to Adorno or Horkheimer, ultimately captured, taken over the free time of the masses. That is, masses are now, means at the time of Frankfurt thinkers, that is, masses were completely dependent on the mass culture or the culture industry. So free time for them is to enjoy this culture industry, and this has its relevance today. This has its very relevance today. This today's relevance I will discuss in any other video. First I will discuss what Horkheimer and Adorno said about this mass culture and culture industry. So according to Adorno or Horkheimer, this culture industry is creating mass consumerism, and this mass consumerism is the repression of the consciousness of the people, of the consciousness of the masses. Masses are not able to realize the domination of the culture industry or mass culture. Masses are not able to realize it. Masses are not able to resist the production. That is why there may be question that Adorno or Horkheimer pointed out, that there may be question that why the audiences, why the masses are not resisting, why they're happily accepting the product of the culture industry or mass culture. Because the domination of consciousness is such strong that masses are not able to realize that the necessity of resistance is must, or the resistance is the necessity. Masses are not able to realize that resistance is the necessity. They believes that if I resist, I would be lagging behind. I would be lagging behind in this advancement of the age, advancement of the time. So they don't resist, they happily accept. And this is not exactly the acceptance, this is the repression or suppression over their consciousness by the culture industry. Culture industry do it through the consumerism. So culture industry is creating consumerism, and through consumerism the various products of the culture industry is being spreaded, is being widened among the masses globally. Another important thing Adorno or Horkheimer pointed out is the change of the definition of free society, or Adorno or Horkheimer critically analyzed the notion of free society. In today's time, in this 21st century, if we say free society, what does it mean? Naturally or generally, we will mean the free society as a society which is free from any restriction, which is free from any foundation, which is free from any kind of oppression and suppression, free from tradition, free from the conservatism, free from orthodoxy, free from the superstitions, free from a primitive domination. So Adorno and Horkheimer found that this notion of free society is again another way of dominating the masses, another way of rationalizing the domination of culture industry, because they believes the society may be freed from the primitive culture, primitive traditions, primitive thinking, but again it got trapped into the domination of the culture industry. Again, it got trapped into the domination of the consumerism, of the bourgeoisie's ideology, of the capitalistic advancement, of the technical rationality, of the industrial, the world, or advanced industrial society. That is, masses are trapped into this. But masses believes that they are living in the free society, but this notion of free society is not free at all according to Adorno or Horkheimer. And this notion is, and this particular thinking, this particular realization of Adorno or Horkheimer is very relevant in today's time, that I will discuss. Again, we have to relate these things with the Marcuse's ideas also, that I will discuss in any other video, that is in the next video. So free society, there is masses believes that in the advanced industrial society they are in the free society, they are enjoying the free society because they are now able to avail or enjoy all kinds, all forms of the mass culture with the technological development, and they can enjoy their free time with different the technological tools, with different technological the platforms, and they are now free from all conservatism, orthodoxy, primitive thinking, primitive way of life, and now they are living in the modern way of life. So this is free society, but Adorno or Horkheimer believes that this is not free society. This is again another kind of the domination, another kind of the restriction, oppression, or suppression of the capitalist world or the advanced industrial society. So this is what mass culture or culture industry according to Adorno and Max Horkheimer is. And today's time, today's society is much complex than society that observed or realized by the Adorno or Horkheimer. That is why this particular concept, this particular idea is very relevant, and I will analyze and discuss and present before you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.